Hi students, let's do some programming with the help of digits of a number. See what I would like to explain you, what I want to say. If the number is 475, the digits are 475. First of all, we have to separate the digits and then we have to add them. After separating the digits, we have to add them. 4 plus 7 plus 5, final sum is 16. So, this is the program that we have to do to find the sum of the digits of a number. So, same method I am going to follow using this util package. I am creating the object of scanner class in main function. Message there, enter a number, int n equal to scan.nextInt, one number you have to input and pass this number to the function SOD. Purposely I keep the name of the function SOD, sum of the digit, because I told you always keep the function name meaningful. So, static void SOD function we have to design with this number. First of all, we have to separate the digit. So, again if the number is 475, we have to separate this digit by dividing the number, this number, by 10. If I divide this number by 10 to get the remainder, I will get 5. 5 can be printed easily. You can print the 5. See, if I write r equal to n modulus 10 system dot println r. So, 5 will be printed. When you divide 475 by 10, you will get the remainder 5. Now, next statement. Now, we have to divide 47 by 10 to get 7. How will get first of all 47? I am writing one statement, n equal to n divide by 10. Here sign of divide. So, when you divide 475 by 10, what will you get? You will get 47 because both are integer, n and 10. You will get only the integer what 47, you will not get 47.5, only you will get 47. Now, you have to repeat the same statement, 47 modulus 10, print 7, then 47 divided by 10, you will get 4, next time 4 modulus 10 and so on till n will not become 0. When n will become 0, you have to close the program. So, same condition I am putting while n not equal to 0, it means I am making the loop, because similar these statements we have to repeat again and again till n not equal to 0, and one variable r we have used. So, it is must to declare the variable r. So, again try to understand the working of this program while n not equal to 0. Initially n is supposed for 75, 475 modulus 10 you get 5, 5 is printed here, 475 divided by 10 get 47. Now, 47 modulus second time, 47 modulus 10, 47 modulus 10 you will get 7. Okay. After getting 7 you can print. Now, 47 divided by 10, when you divide 47 by 10 you will get 4. Again come here. Now, divide 4 is not 0, divide 4 modulus 10, 4 modulus 10, be remember when you divide 4 by 10 remainder will be 4, not 0, 0 is the quotient part. So, print 4, divide 4 by 10. Now, finally when you divide 4 by 10 n will become 0 and loop will be terminated, come out of the loop, control will come here and this function will be finished. So, in such a way you can print the digits 5, 7 and finally 4. So, these digits will be printed 5, 7, 4. This will be the output of this program. But our question is to find the sum of these digits. These digits we have to add. So, what I am going to do, take one variable s equal to 0. If you don't want to print the digits, remove this statement, or below or after this statement, or instead of this statement you can write s equal to s plus r. So, each digit which we are printing will be added in now s. Now, it will be added in s, and finally after the loop you can print the value of s. So, finally sum of the digits 16 will be printed. So, it is not so difficult, very simple program it is, just to get the digits and add into s. Now, let us continue with the same program. Now, this time we have to reverse the number, reverse. If the number is 475, a new number should be 574. 574. And once it is reversed, that you can either print or you can return, depends on the question. So, now next question is to check the input number is palindrome or not. Now, what are palindrome numbers? Palindrome numbers are those when you reverse them it will remain same. Example, if number is 474, when you reverse it, it will remain 474, it is palindrome. Palindrome. So, question is to check the input number is palindrome or not. To check the input number is palindrome or palindromic or not. The number is palindromic or not. So, if the reverse is same, the number is palindromic. If reverse is not same, the number is not palindromic. This was the program to find the sum of the digit. I am going to make very slight change in this program. Try to observe it. In place of s equal to s plus r, I am just writing s equal to s multiplied 10 plus r, and the number will be reversed. Finally, when you see the output, it will be reversed. How? Try to understand the working. See, if the number is 475, first remainder will be 5 and value of s will be 0 into 10, s is 0, 0 into 10, 0 plus 5, s will become 5. And second remainder will be 7, now s is now 5. So, 5 into 10, 50 plus 7. 5 into 10 plus second remainder, it will be 57. Now, third remainder is 4. Now, s is 57. So, 57 multiplied 10, 570 plus 4, 574. It means 57 multiplied 10 plus the third remainder. Third remainder is 4. So, 574. And loop will be terminated. After the loop, you can check the number is now reversed. Now, our question is to check it is palindromic or not, because reverse should be same with the input number. So, this number is not palindromic. So, instead of printing, you can put the condition if n equal to input number. I am talking about the input number, whatever we have input should be equivalent to the value of s, then it is palindromic. So, if I write condition if n equal to s, print palindromic, else print not palindromic, and close the function. So, this way you can put the condition, because if the input number, I am talking about the input number, if the input number is equivalent to the value of s, s is now the reverse of the input number. If both are same, the number is palindromic, otherwise not palindromic. But this program is not correct. In case of 474, it will also print not palindromic. Why? After this loop, the value of n will become 0. N is not equivalent to the input number, because within the loop we are continuously changing the value of n by dividing it by 10, dividing the number by 10. So, because loop will move till n not equal to 0. When n will become 0, control will come out of the loop. So, it means n will be 0 here. How it can be equivalent to the reversed number? So, what we have to do? We have to take one more new variable, maybe temporary variable like a, store this value into a, and instead of comparing n, compare a, because after the loop n will be 0, but a will remain same as input number. So, now input number you have to compare with the reversed number, then you can check it is palindromic or not. Now, this is the complete program. Same ways, this program you can make in different way using return statement. This is complete. I am just going to explain you with different method. In place of printing the palindromic number here, what I am going to do, I am just writing here return s. I am not using the variable a right now. In place of void, what you have to write? Int, the return type. The data type of s is integer, so we have to write int, because now we are going to returning integer value from this function. So, we are going to returning integer value from this function. So, we have to write int here. Now, this function will accept a number and after reversing it, it will return. So, we have to call it from the main. Now, little calling will be changed. Here you have to write int k equal to the function name, either SOD or any other name, even you want to keep some different name like reverse. Also change the name of the function. Actually, it is not compulsory, but also keep the meaningful names. So, when you call the function reverse, pass the value of n, it will give you the reverse number which will be stored in n. Here we can check k is equivalent to n, then here you can print it is palindromic, else print it is not palindromic. That is all. So, this is the program. Input the number, call the reverse function, and it will return you the reverse value of n, and you have to compare. Here when you pass this n to this n will be reversed and stored into s, and n will become 0, but this n will not become 0. This variable belongs to this function, main function, and this n belongs to the reverse function. So, their scope is different. So, here it is not required to store in a temporary variable. Okay, now we will continue with the same program. Next is to bring the list of palindromic numbers. List of palindromic numbers. Suppose you have to print the list of palindromics number between 100 and 1000. The number which are palindromes like 101, 111. When you reverse, it will be same. In same way 121 and so on. So, palindromic number, I am not going to make any change in this reverse function. What I am going to make change in the main function. Question is this, to print the list of palindromic numbers. To print the list of palindromic numbers between the given range. Suppose the range is 100 and 1000. So, what we have to do? You have to make the same reverse function. Here you make the loop for int I equal to 100, I is less than equal to 1000, I plus plus. You can declare the variable here int k, call the function reverse by passing I. I will pass to n, it will return you reversed value which will be stored in k. You have to just compare if k equal to I and print either k or I, print ln k or I, close the loop. So, it will be, first of all, try to understand the working. First of all, you have to pass 100, it will return you 1, the reverse is 001. Second time pass 101, it will return you 101. So, 101 will be printed. Next time 102, in case 102 it will return 201. So, 101 is not equal to 201. So, 102 will not be printed. So, it will print only the palindromic numbers. That is all. Thank you.